Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Gonna get to work on the Cobra in this video. Got a few little things I want to take care of and go over with you. First one, it's actually a pretty easy one. Ever since I've gotten this car, I've had a smell of fuel in the garage. Previously, it was on the far end of the garage where the MR2 currently sits. When I moved it into this space, which is one closer to the door to the house, I noticed the smell was much stronger, and it was actually coming into the house. So that was a no-go. I did notice it was, much stronger when we would have significant temperature changes. During the summer, it was mostly warm, so I didn't really notice it as much, but now we're having the warm to cold throughout the day, and I was really starting to notice it. So I don't know if that was just causing more fuel to flash off or whatnot. But yeah, it was definitely noticeable, and something had to be done because it's not safe. Sitting in my family room in my house and smelling gas. So that being said, this vehicle is a Mark II. It was built using, the Mustang donor, so it does have the Fox Mustang fuel neck and everything hooked up to the body, and then the Lamaze tank on it. When I got it, there was no gas cap in it. It was just the Lamaze cap was what was being used as the seal for the fuel system. So I took a look at it, and I searched online. I know there's a lot of threads in the past about this because I know with the Mark IV, they have their own fuel neck. But there was, some people would use the stock Mustang one and modify it a little bit, modify the Lamaze cap a little bit. Some people had recommended using a Viper GTS fuel cap because that actually has the notch because they have the same Lamaze fuel cap on them. First started searching for those. Dodge stopped making them some years ago. If you can find one, they now sell for about $1,400 to $1,500 a piece. That is not realistic. So I started thinking, because I didn't want to have to modify something and make a custom gas cap. And I thought back to my prior vehicle days, and I had a Mazda Miata. The Miata has the filler up on the top of the quarter panel, right behind the top, and it has a short cap. So I thought, hey, I wonder if that'll work. So in searching for replacement gas caps, same part number was used for a Miata and for a Ford Mustang, believe it or not. So I went ahead on eBay and ordered a used Miata gas cap for a 94 to 97 first generation Miata. And here's what it looks like. All right, so here you can see it installed. It fits nice and low in here. You can go ahead and close this. Plenty of room, doesn't hit. Go ahead and latch it. Not an issue, it seals like it's supposed to. I did not have to modify anything with the lid or the bolt or anything like that. And yeah, here's the cap, what it looks like. The only flaw to it is kind of narrow as far as getting your fingers in here, but still no problem whatsoever. You can go ahead and get the cap out, and it seals like it should. Ever since installing this, I have had 0 smells in my garage. So this was the problem. If you look, you can see it looks like, the fuel neck is not completely up sealed to the body. So I'm guessing, while the Lamaze cap was sealing it up here along this edge, this gap here, when it was vaping off, it was just seeping out of there. And that's where I was getting the gas smell from. So as of right now, it looks like I have this fixed. So, like I said, it fits in there. You take a little wiggling to get it in and out. But, screws down nice and tight. And that's it. You can close it up without an issue, and we are good to go, and no more gas smells. So, pretty happy about that. Other thing I noticed, last time I took it to the gas station, I've actually only filled this thing up twice, so I'll say that. The first time was when I first got it. I took it, I had no problems filling it, but when I got it up in the air and got it home, I noticed that the vent was popped out. There's the little ball vent mechanism for rollovers and whatnot. I noticed that was actually not even seated in the top of the gas tank, so obviously air could vent out no problem. I reseated that, put it back together, and then when I just went to fill this up the last week at the gas station, I could not turn the fuel nozzle on past a quarter power, you want to call it. Anything beyond that, and fuel would start back splashing out the filler neck. So I did go ahead and order a new valve and O-ring, so I'm going to go ahead and get that installed next. All right, so here are the parts I'm going to be installing. This is the Dorman fuel tank vent valve, and then the O-ring I got off of Amazon as well. It was a 2-pack of them. It's got the Ford part number in it. Not sure if it's true Ford part or not, but that is what I'm going to be using. I did double check to make sure everything fit good. The O-ring fits fine on the valve, so next steps will be to go ahead and pull the old one off from the top of the gas tank and go ahead and get this installed. All right, here is the old valve and O-ring removed. Ball still seems to be working in it. I mean, it's a little, maybe it's a little tight. This has definitely got a lot more movement to it, so I'm guessing this is just somewhat gummed up and maybe it's not releasing all the way. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one in with the new O-ring and get this taken care of. And just in case you don't know, this is where it installs. You can see the hole there. It's by the sending unit in the tall portion of the fuel tank. This is kind of looking backwards from the front of the car. It's right up on top here. Sending unit's right there. And there's just gonna be this vacuum hose that goes to it, and that's what goes up to the charcoal canister. All right, and there you can see the 2 new components installed, new O-ring with the valve. I just need to hook up the vacuum line and this will be all done. All right, and there we go. Everything is hooked up. So hopefully next time I need to put gas in this thing, fills up a little better and vents as it is supposed to. And yeah, allows me to get gas in this thing and not have to just go like quarter handle squeeze to keep it from coming back out the fill tube. So yeah, we'll mark this off the list and on to the next. All right, so next on the to-do list is I want to install these very nice door panels that I got from Herb's, custom door panels. These are basically, or like the basic option with the pocket on them in the vinyl to match the dash. So went ahead, got these from him. Pretty nice. They're very easy to install. Basically, as you can see here, it is just some strips of Velcro. You can also, after using the Velcro, his instructions say you can put some silicone in the Velcro if you want to make it more permanent. What I'm probably going to do is just get a couple of interior screws with collars down the road just to make sure they stay in place. But for now, I'm just going to use the Velcro to get them installed. So do have to cut the pieces to length and whatnot, and then clean the inside of the the doors with some alcohol, and then I can go ahead and get these stuck into place. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the driver's side. All right, here you can see I realigned the Velcro strips to the ones that were on the door permanently affixed, and then I did cut the edges and trimmed everything so it matches upright and it won't be visible when everything's mounted. So yeah, this is the driver's side. And then yeah, it just will fit in here. So I'm going to go ahead, use some rubbing alcohol, clean up the mounting locations, make sure there's no oil or anything like that that will cause problems of adhesion, and go ahead and get this installed. All right, well, here is the final result. Pretty happy with the fit finish of these. I did use heat gun and just kind of warm up the door itself a little bit just to help with the adhesion of the Velcro, just because it is a little bit chilly outside. It's only about 50 degrees. Wanted to make sure there were no adhering issues. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how these work. Like I said, I might end up getting a couple trim screws down the road just to make sure that there is, a really, really good, it's not going to fall off or come loose or anything like that, hitting bumps or anything. So, but yeah, pretty happy with this. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on the passenger side and just repeat everything I did here. All right, here we go. You can see the passenger side is installed as well, and this is what it looks like with the doors closed. So do a quick little walk around. And then the driver's side as well. So yeah, very happy with how these turned out. Like the look, kind of finishes off the interior. You can still see the paint, so that's nice, but looks good with the two-tone black and yellow, similar to the paint job. So that is job done. Now I have a little bit of storage in the car, so that is an added bonus. Eventually I would like to try and integrate a glove box into the dash. Not sure if I'll be able to with the heater circuit that's behind there. May have to do something very custom with it's just going to be very shallow. Maybe just allowing some documents or whatnot. But anyway, that is what I've got here. Next on the list, I want to try and do a little polishing work. I think I've talked about it before. The windshield frame, you can see it's looking a little worse for wear. You can see here I did take a little test run at it with some chrome polish, and it cleaned up a little bit. I have a show that I'm going to take this to tomorrow, so I want to try and get a few of the very obvious things cleaned up before I take it to the show. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that now. All right, little update. Polished the surround of the windshield. Wow, so much happier. I mean, if you look deep down, you'll see some spots where it's still a little pitted. I'm gonna get new hardware for the wind wings, and I have sun visors for it, and I need to get new hardware for those. So, once I get those off, I'll be able to clean better, because you can see it's, right around that hardware. It's still a little, there's some marks. It was just hard to get into with the towel. So I'll clean that up better once those are off. But I mean, yeah, all in all, this is cleaning up pretty nice. It's not perfect. You might not be able to see, but there's some like pitting marks that you can faintly see, but way better than it was. That's what it looks like now. Here's the mirror. This is what it looked like when I started. So next is the mirror. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing cleaned up and go from there. I do have these little covers, the aftermarket covers you can get. They're aluminum. I need to actually get some aluminum polish and go on those just a little bit, see if I can clean those up. But yeah, slowly but surely working my way through it. All right, so after a little bit of time working on it, here is the mirror. Pretty happy with how it turned out. I mean, you can see it definitely has some pitting to it, but it's shiny again. It's not as noticeable. Looks 10 times better, if not more. So pretty happy with how that looks. I'll probably stick with this mirror for a while. Maybe I'll replace it eventually. So yeah, got that done. That took quite a bit of polishing. And then I also, since I was at it, broke out the aluminum polish and went to town on the fuel lid. And I'm sure if you look at earlier in this video, you probably noticed this thing was very tarnished. Not perfect. You can still see some marks in it and whatnot. I'll probably have to go after it some more, but I'm kind of running out of time today to get this thing prepped for the show tomorrow. So yeah, still, I'm very, very happy with how it looks. Looks 100 times better than it did. It was very dull, had marks all over it and whatnot. It was very, very just scuzzy looking. Now it looks a lot better. It's got some shine to it. So, like I said, I used some Muller's aluminum polish on that one. All the chrome, I used 3M chrome polish. So that's probably where I'm going to wrap things up on this video. Basically just going to go over the car, dust it off, and then use some spray wash on it, the detail spray and a microfiber, and then same thing on the tires, just kind of clean the wheels and tires up a little bit, and then take this thing to the meet tomorrow. So I may take a video at the meet, not sure, haven't decided. We'll see what the turnout's like and how the weather is, and go from there. But yeah, so I am going to end this video here. If you like what you're seeing, interested in following along, please like, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell. Next video is likely going to be on that car there, because I have been working on cleaning up the engine bay. I've got pretty much everything all cleaned up. Ordered some spray paint so I can do some refinish work as far as cleaning up the areas that are scratched up that I want to fix, and also got some masking paper and whatnot for body work. So I'll probably go to that and start working on that as far as getting everything prepped, taped off, and spray paint the areas I want to clean and go from there. I don't think I mentioned it in my last video on the MR2 either. For the transmission that's sitting there, it's a filthy, dirty mess. I'm going to clean that up. I did go ahead and order, Hux Racing has a titanium bolt kit. Ordered that just to see if I can lose a little weight with that. And I also ordered all titanium hardware for the transmission to engine bolts, based on what Mark has in his videos, the needed bolts. I gave all the old bolts to the person who bought the old engine off of me, so because I had planned on doing that. So anyway, that is where I'm going to end this. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.